Good morning, I'm Chin Doan. We start with breaking news out of Bellevue after a lightning strike sparks a fire. If you look over here, you can see it's poorly lit and some of these windows are severely scratched. Moving moments right now behind me. Keep in mind, if you do have a fire hydrant in front of your home, first responders ask that you do them a favor and really yourself a favor by shoveling it so that way first responders can get to it safely. Breaking overnight, crews responding to a house fire. It happened near 7th and Bancroft just before 2 o'clock. While some areas are now open to the public, there are still some that need a lot of work. This, for example, Narrows Park, you can see crews are removing debris left on the boat ramp. After more than 2 months, these goats are finally home. You can see they're excited to go back to where they've been calling home for years. A major power outage in New York City impacted 73,000 people Saturday night as city officials scrambled to get the lights back on. All that wind is causing a lot of challenges for crews. We've seen a lot out this morning from city crews to contractors. In fact, there is one right now. The historic flood has led to 1 death and at least 2 missing in Nebraska. In Iowa, 1 person drowned Friday night in Fremont County. Underground heat helping these seeds grow faster than they normally would. Good video here for you. Yours truly had the honors of emceeing the egg roll eating competition.
Yeah, they really had everything there.
They really did, and it was intense.
Look at this.
Look at this video here. 10 people of all ages taking the stage. So whoever ate all the egg rolls first took home the trophy. My face there, I was just like astonished. They had water and dipping sauce. Some people utilized both of those to their advantage.
Hey, they get into it.
Yeah, they do. And the winner, get this, downed all 10 egg rolls in about 2 minutes.
Ooh-wee.
They did not savor any flavor. They were just like, let's take home this trophy.
Wonder how they're feeling this morning.
Man, I had heartburn just watching them. There is still plenty of debris here as this building is now boarded up, and the city put up this sign here saying that nobody can be inside because it's dangerous. Meanwhile, both drivers involved have pending citations. Not 1, but 2 SUVs crashed into this Metro Community College building Saturday morning.
Yeah, we really want to know how fast it's going.
This scene near 30th and Ellison has many asking what happened.
I was so focused on being busted in the head, my head was bleeding. It was so much going through my head at the time. I didn't bother to step on my brakes.
Anthony Dan says he was at a gathering a few blocks away when 2 men tried to rob him and hit him on the head with a bottle. According to police reports, Dan told investigators one of the men got into another SUV with 2 women inside. That's when Dan chased after them and the SUVs rammed each other. They went over the landscaping, through a metal fence, and into the building, leaving an estimated $300,000 in damage, according to MCC.
I don't know who hit first. All I know is that I smelled gas in my Yukon XL. I immediately jumped out the back door because I couldn't get out the front.
There are pending willful reckless driving citations for both drivers. J.D. Pratt says he heard the crash and ran to help.
The driver of the car being chased indicated that they did not know the guy's name, his real name. They only knew him by like a nickname. He jumped in the car, said drive, that's what they did.
Pratt says it's a dangerous intersection and hopes everyone involved learned a lesson.
They're lucky they missed all the cross traffic because one can only imagine what it would have been like if the car had been hit from the side by a semi.
MCC tells me this building was in the process of being converted into an archives department, so thankfully no classes will be impacted. Police say they're still looking into exactly what happened before the crash. Near 30th and Ellison, Chin Doan, Newswatch 7 at 9.
Is he okay? His head bust?
Parents panic after their toddler falls 15 feet.
Darby County 911, what's the address?
Yes, my son just saw out the window of our new house. He fell right through the screen.
That was October 2015. Bryson, then almost 3 years old, spent 5 days in the hospital.
He had a brain bleed, so we think he fell backwards because he broke the bone in the back of his skull.
Now, 2.5 years later, a rare checkup. Officer Patrick Nastasi.
Hi, guys.
Can you say hi, Bryson?
Hi, Bryson. What's up, buddy?
Returning to the home for the first time after being first on scene.
I remember seeing Bryson laying on the driveway as soon as I drove up.
He just has made so much progress in the last 2 years.
Bryson's mom, a nurse, prompted the reunion with this tweet to the Papillion Police Department.
I wanted to say thank you for your quick response and caring attitude when my baby fell out the window and was injured.
Definitely caught me off guard. Kind of almost, it choked me up for a minute.
Now, the officer has a surprise.
I want to present you with our department patch.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
A patch, coin, and badge.
You want that, buddy?
Celebrating a curious kid.
What's this?
And those protecting the community.
It was a team effort by Papillion Police and Papillion Fire and everyone involved.
Chinh Doan, KETV, Newswatch 7. The danger for firefighters doesn't end when the flames are put out.
It was horrible and it was quick.
That's how Ingrid Olsen describes her wife's battle with ovarian cancer. Captain Laura Larson was an Omaha firefighter for 13 years until the tumors spread throughout her organs.
Laura worked a lot of her earlier years in North Omaha, and a lot of the fires, if you read the reports, she was exposed to asbestos, and there was a correlation between asbestos and cancer.
Larson's 2014 death, considered to be in the line of duty, is part of alarming data. A report by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health found firefighters face a 9% increase in cancer diagnoses and a 14% increase in cancer-related deaths compared to everyone else in the United States.
Just by pure chance, I went to the first cancer class for firefighters right after all the studies started coming out. About a half hour into the class, I'm like, this guy's talking to me.
Frank Corcoran is vice president of the Omaha Professional Firefighters Association. He says in the last 7 years, he's had more than 40 skin cancers removed from his head, neck, and arms.
It's normal to be dirty in those areas.
Corcoran says union records show 36 members were treated for various cancers from January 2016 to August 2018. Dr. Ralph Hauke with Nebraska Cancer Specialists has worked with firefighters.
They're exposed to all these different, gases and toxins and all that.
Hauke says studies show carcinogens can cause mutations and weaken the immune system that lead to diseases, including cancer.
But testicular, prostate, melanoma, lymphomas have been noted. There's clearly also a risk for sometimes lung cancer, but also lung diseases.
More calls as the community grows and construction is changing, potentially posing more threats to first responders.
Now, things are being made of synthetics and man-made products and things like that, and those things cause a more dangerous effect to firefighters, especially when we're breathing them, absorbing them through our skin.
Chief Dan Olsen says his department and others across the country are enhancing their policies and training to keep crews as safe as possible.
I think that the city of Omaha owes it to their firefighters or community to make sure they're not just meeting the standard, they're above and beyond.
For KTV Newswatch 7 Investigates, I'm Chinh Doan.
Tonight, in part 2 of this investigation, Chinh Doan gets answers on what's being done to protect our first responders.
While they're fighting fires, they're also trying to shield against growing dangers. More buildings and furniture made from synthetic materials.
It's not just wood and cotton anymore. It's major plastics and bad materials that cause cancer once it's in a combustible form.
Frank Corcoran is vice president of the Omaha Professional Firefighters Association. He says he's had more than 40 skin cancers removed and has even taken chemo pills. According to the International Association of Firefighters, cancer caused 61% of the career firefighter line of duty deaths from 2002 to 2017. Corcoran was behind the union's push to make cancer prevention a priority, asking the chief for a second set of gear for each firefighter.
In Omaha Fire, presently we only have one set of gear. So if you have a fire at 9 in the morning, you're wearing that same gear for the next 22 hours.
We do, listen to their questions and concerns, and this is one area where I can proudly say that we're on the same page.
Chief Dan Olsen says a quarter of his department is now being fitted for a second set of gear. His goal is to have all 671 members with a second set in 4 years. It'll cost about $1 million.
And we train our firefighters in the academy to make sure that they are fully encapsulated. There cannot be any exposed skin.
As the chief suits me up,
Okay, take a breath.
he explains policy changes require firefighters to now wear their breathing apparatus for the entire scene and decontaminate before leaving.
We're supposed to brush off our turnout gear. We're supposed to wash off our contaminated gear before we mount the apparatus and return to the fire station.
And once they're back, crews are now required to shower within an hour. This vent system collects the heat and exhaust so that firefighters are not exposed to toxic fumes. 22 of Omaha's 24 stations have it. The other 2 are in the works. There's also at least one extractor washing machine at every battalion. It's to remove harmful toxins left in their gear. Both the union and chief agree. Updated equipment and ongoing education are key to safety.
I'm fairly confident that the members, knowing that we're looking out for their own well-being, will follow those policies and procedures.
For KTV Newswatch 7 Investigates, I'm Chinh Doan.